then moving forward to the remedies, you know, what was going to get me sorted. 3 things: cardioversion, cardio ablation, and a pacemaker. So the consultant was explaining this to me, that a pacemaker, because of the nature of what my heart was doing, a pacemaker sets a regular pace at a certain level, and if you exceed that level, the pacemaker brings it back down. Well, with my lower level, the pacemaker was not going to be effective, so he ruled that out. Well, that's fair enough. Cardioversion is basically shock treatment to your chest to jolt your heart back into a normal rhythm. He knows what he's talking about, and he said to me that would work, but he'd be surprised if it lasts any longer than a month. And well, so in my head, me being an engineer, well, that's not a permanent fix. That's not even a temporary fix. There's no, you know, it's not as if I need it to hold for a couple of weeks and then that's fine. It says even as a temporary solution, that was just a non-starter because of the variable nature of when it could go again. So the only other option was the catheter ablation. Fine, let's go for that. And then this is a precautionary tale for everybody else here. Had I acted on the heart arrhythmia when first discovered, if they'd have detected it within 48 hours, they could have treated it pretty quickly. But because it effectively was in existence for at least 10 days by the time I was diagnosed, there was a high risk of blood clots, and obviously blood clots can be extremely severe. We had to mitigate that. The only way to mitigate that is a course of blood thinners. The Pixaban they prescribed, I had to be on that for 6 weeks. So you can see that a big chunk of the 2 months I've been off the bike been eaten up already. Thursday the 20th of July my procedure was scheduled. I was a bit apprehensive, I don't mind admitting, but it is a catheter inserted through your groin, so it's a local anaesthetic. You have a slight sedative. If anybody's worried about pain, the pain in your heart, yes, you can feel it. It's like a mild brain freeze. Honestly, it's not... I don't mean to trivialise it, but certainly the pain is nothing, guys. If you're a sports person, you've done any sort of contact sport, you'll have encountered way more pain in your contact sport than you'll get from a catheter ablation. And I'm not minimising the actual procedure. I'm trying to explain to you the pain element is nothing compared to what you've already experienced in your life probably. So that's what I mean by that. By the way, we time check here, where are we? I am sweating now, and quite happily sweating. 28 minutes in, I've been talking loads. 87 beats per minute. I haven't even got into 100 yet. This is really okay. As a first start, it's fine. So the ablation procedure itself, it does seem quite daunting when you go into the cath lab, as it's called, the catheter lab, I guess. There's lots of monitoring equipment. That's how they get crisp visibility of what they're doing to you. Anyway, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, the actual ablation procedure from when he put the catheter in, I think. Might even have been less. Once he'd completed, say that's us, we're done. Quite happy with that. We'll just sit you here for 10 minutes and just we'll monitor what's going on. that was that. Now, within half an hour I was back on the ward, but I could genuinely feel things where, I was going to say back to normal because obviously I had a lot of sedation and stuff, but across my chest I felt, okay, something's went on in there, but the overall feeling is, hey, deep breaths, feels as if I've got a bit of energy. And the reason for that is my heart had gained about 20 beats. How do I know that? I put my Apple Watch on, or I asked one of the nurses to put it on for me, and monitored it. Sure enough, lying in bed, it was beating away, 52, 53, 54. Oh, no, that's amazing. So, what can I say? I was really suffering from days where I was depressed in those 2 months. There was one day where I was quite fatigued that day, and again with hindsight, I had been continuing easy dog walks with my wife and our 2 dogs, just to stay, so I didn't vegetate, wasn't doing anything difficult. And my heart was, when I was walking with the girls, my heart would raise itself in blocks of 10, got up to 70, got up to 80, so that was fine. But this day, this is when I was at my lowest ebb, it didn't do that. It was in the low 60s and it would not move. So as the walk progressed, I got slower and slower, and I thought, okay. And Corey, my wife, was saying, let's take a wee rest. And in my head, I'm thinking, if I stop, I'm not going to start again. And I don't know how realistic that was, but the only thing I can tell you is what was going on in my head, and it wasn't pleasant. I was like, silly things like, is this the end? If I stop here, will the heart rate just fall and fall and fall and continue to fall, and I will pass away? Albeit it would have been one of my favourite river walks with the girls, but these are the things that went through my head, and I was feeling pretty low. So I didn't stop. I got back to the car, and I think if you asked my wife at that stage, she was like, okay, this is, I think she was really worried, and she'd done a great job of hiding it from me because she knew how worried I was. So the following day I was well rested, and I actually felt okay the following day. Of course, everybody was on tenterhooks, including me. Is the same thing going to happen again? But it didn't. So I soldiered on. But nothing can describe the past 10 days. I felt good. I felt I'm back. Obviously I'm not back to the same fitness levels, but I'm here, I'm talking. I've been cycling for half an hour now, and I probably spoke for most of that. So, I don't know if that gives an indication of the aerobic level or not. I've not pushed it. I mean, my heart's at 84 here, and it's just ticking along. Now, perhaps in later sessions this week we'll up it a bit. I'm just going to keep going here. Let's go through the stats then. You can see them on screen. So I'm pumping out just about 100 watts, saying 1.1 watts per kilo. It's very easy. Revolutions, or cadence as we say in cycling speak, 73. This is probably me in the endurance zone actually. So I'm behind here. I've just realised I'm behind my pace bot, as you can see. So let's just up it a wee bit then. If I feel anything we can rack it back. But I'm going to have to do a bit of work here to catch. Look at that 90-day PR on the screen, 43.5. There is absolutely no way that's been bettered anytime soon. I don't know if I can catch this person. Let's see if we can get a bit of drafting going. I've got nobody to draft. .8. So if the pace bot is averaging 1.1 plus the benefit of the draft, I'm probably just at 1.6 here, likely to hold pace. I need to up it again, I think. Is there anybody coming in hot behind me that I can draft? Here's somebody from Japan. Maybe a bit too hot. Yeah. Slow down. Okay. Let's up it a bit here. You can see on the screen for the first time I hit green, trying to catch that Japanese cyclist. Again, I need to find some more watts per kilos if I'm going to get across. I don't know if this is going to be possible, folks. I could be dropped here. Actually, there's a power up. Okay, so I've got aero boost. See if that can give me some to get back on. How far are we away? 2 seconds back. Right, who's this? New Zealand dude. Get in front of me. Oh, it's working. Here we go. There we go. Back on. Oh, look at that. 97 beats per minute. I have to say, I don't feel stressed in any way, but that's good. I've upped it without consciously upping it, shall we say. So, if you're watching this video and you like this sort of content, I do a lot of this. We also do a lot of dog walks here in the Mac Velo Chronicles. Since the channel's inception, the majority of stuff has focused around the girls and the dog walks. A wee bit on farm life, and a wee bit on cycling, but that obviously fell by the wayside because of the heart arrhythmia. But it's back now. If you want to see some more Zwifting, specifically Zwifting back to fitness and how I intend to do that, then please subscribe and click the notification bell so you won't miss any of these. And thank you very much for watching. It's encouraging, and it actually helped a lot to see the channel grow whilst I was ill. I even struggled to say ill, but I was. Just didn't look ill on the outside. And so I'm now in no man's land. I'm ahead of the pace bot. I have nobody in front of me, so I'm not benefiting from the draft. I'm pumping out 1.4, 1.5 watts per kilo. Need to remember that that's probably a better pace bot section for me. I mean, we're half an hour, no we're not, we're 40 minutes in. Wow. I was only targeting 45 minutes today. Should I push it to the hour? So back in the day, I've always been pretty fit. So that's another reason why it's hard to take when that suddenly goes. But I'm here by the grace of God. It feels like I've been given another chance. I'm not 60 yet. And my consultant did say this to me. He said, yes, your cycling has caused this heart arrhythmia. He said, that's, I don't know, There's a 1 in 200 or a 1 in 400 chance that that happens to cyclists of your age. He said, but because cycling is so popular, he has seen it a lot. And on every occasion he says the same thing. The benefits of cycling in your 50s to both your physical health and your mental health far outweigh the risks. And he would recommend it every time. Not once would he say to somebody who was in their early 50s, maybe slightly overweight, looking for some form of exercise that's easy on the joints, i.e. cycling, he would never say to them, don't do that, because there is a 1 in 400 chance you will develop a heart arrhythmia. It's just, the benefits far outweigh any risks. And all he said to me was, he was actually quite cute, said to me, right Stephen, tell me your plans, because clearly we were having a conversation and he knows I was feeling delighted because I was feeling better. He says, okay doctor, so plan is go home, take it easy over the weekend, then after about a week we'll start back on the bike, just build it up slowly. And he laughed. He says, oh, no, let me tell you what's going to happen, Stephen. I was like, all right. He says, by all means continue dog walking. He says, not a problem. He said, no cycling for a minimum of 10 days. Then he said, go back on your smart trainer indoors for a week, build it up, then you can go outdoors. Only problem with you going outdoors, I thought, oh, here we go. He says, you're still going to be on blood thinners for the next 6 weeks. So, you know, if you fall, scratch your knees, cut yourself, it's going to take a wee while to stop the bleeding. He said, so, you know, you just need to be careful and cautious of that. Ah, yeah, okay, that's a good point. In actual fact, you won't be able to see it, but I'll put it up close. We were visiting friends. You probably, if you watch the channel, you've seen the videos with Angus. Our friend's dog Angus is Erin's brother, and ever since they were pups we've been in contact, and so they're really good friends. We threw out theirs, Crammond, at the weekend, and I was just roughhousing with all the dogs in the back garden, and in between the jumping about and the fracas and rolling about, I noticed I felt a bump on my knuckle and I didn't think anything of it, and then I felt my hand a wee bit wet and I thought, it's not raining, what's going on here? And I looked down and I was bleeding, and it took a wee while for that to stop. So yeah, I get the precautionary advice about blood thinners. So we're at the 45-minute mark here. Now in my head I had said that would be enough, but I'm feeling good and I'm thinking 15 more minutes. Now I know I shouldn't push it, there's no pain, I've been talking, I'm out of breath. No, I can feel it in my legs actually, which isn't surprising because they've done nothing, no pedal work for 13 weeks. My heart rate hasn't been in 100. I've got internal scarring in my heart. That's 10 days old, 11 days old, 20th, yeah, 11 days old. So I mean, look at that heart trace on the screen, that red line, it's constant. I mean, this is endurance work, what I'm doing. I can't do the short, sharp, high intensity. I shouldn't be doing the short, sharp, high intensity. I can't put that load on my heart until I'm absolutely 100% certain it's going to cope. My heart rate monitor is a polar beat, which has been very accurate, as has my Apple Watch. This especially when I was in the hospital getting treatment and they were connecting the heart sensor to your finger. If the nurse shift had changed, they'd put on a finger and they'd have a wee look, oh, let me try the other finger, it's not reading too well on that one. They'd put on the other finger and it's like, let me guess, it's in the low 30s. So yeah, thought it'd be a bit higher than that. No, that's what I'm in for, and you know, it says the same on my Apple Watch. And my Apple Watch was only ever 1 beat out at any given time, so it's not a certified medical device, but I am never going to be without it now. I can absolutely, in fact, it's almost, please let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video on my thoughts on the Apple Watch. I have plenty of screenshots taken thanks to the data this has recorded. I've taken the screenshots that show the dramatic situation my heart was in, and I'm not exaggerating. The resting heart rate falls off a cliff overnight. That's all captured. I've got that in nice graphical format in my Apple Health app, which links seamlessly with the Apple Watch. So, and as a cyclist, you know, if you come off your bike and you're wearing an Apple Watch with fall detection, you know, if you can't do anything about it, i.e. you're unconscious, this watch will alert emergency services, and it will also alert your emergency contacts, and not just one. It'll go through, if you've got 4 or 5 of them, it'll alert them. So it's very good. And I understand that Garmin's do that, and all sorts of bike computers do that. But this is something that you have on all the time. Whether you're on the bike, you're off the bike. If you hop on the bike and just nip into town, you know, a couple of kilometres for a message and come back, you've not always fired on your bike computer. This is where the Apple Watch comes in. But the health tracking, you know, it allowed me to know something was wrong and then promptly ignore it telling me something was wrong, which is a stupid mistake, which I should have known better, but it's a male ego thing, you know, especially in Scotland, the culture. I'm happy to say it's changing now, but you know, men shouldn't show their emotions, and we shouldn't show their concerned or softer side, and you know, should just get on with it. Well, that's a load of bollocks, pardon my French. See the phrase "no man is an island"? I tell you, no man should be an island, because you know, sharing your thoughts, concerns with a friend, with anybody, even sharing on social media, human contact. Sometimes you just need human contact. It's just what you have to do. So yes, I made that mistake. I kept it to myself for a week, and probably, I should have shared much earlier. There's a probability if I did, I might not have had to wait this length of time. But that being said, don't look back. Well, I have to say, so we're now in the 56th minute, looking at that heart rate. Do you know, I was talking away there when we were on that last climb. When we started the climb, I was behind the pace bot. I was behind Taylor. So I put the watch down to catch up and then pass. There you go. This has been a successful session so far, I have to say. I'm very pleased. Very, very pleased. I don't know how much benefit this will be to people who are in my situation, but at least if you get no direct benefit from what I'm doing on Zwift here to map out maybe a path to restoring your fitness, you've heard my story, chapter and verse probably. What can I say? a problem shared is a problem halved. And by all means, if you have a heart arrhythmia, just reach out to me and send me a message or put something in the comments. I'll respond. And you know, I've been there. I'm on the other side of it now, and if I can help in any way, it'd be my privilege to do so. So, in the final 2 minutes here, it's interesting that one of the loose targets I had prior to my illness, my heart condition, I used to go on Zwift, and 31.7 kilometres in 60 minutes was a bog standard target. I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to be too far from it, I have to say. Well, yeah, far enough, but I'm a lot closer than I thought. At the 45-minute mark, where I was intending to rest, call it a day, I didn't. We've kept going. We're now 1 minute away from an hour cycling. Do you know, I'm going to take that. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a wee bit out of breath, I guess. Yeah, so from my point of view, feels so far anyway like a successful session. The 1.1 pace bot selection on the whole seems to be okay. Bit of a workout. I've got sweat going. Heart rate didn't break 100. It's not a bad thing, is it really? First time cycling in 13 weeks. And it's probably enough. Probably enough now. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for watching. And there will be further videos like this in the coming days, weeks. Feel free to tune in. And just hear the trainer spin down now. I don't know. It's been so long I forgot how we exit. We'll do menu, end ride, average heart rate 84, there you go. End ride, TikTok with Taylor. Hit OK, not now. Save. I'll just save it. It's a different save screen. It's been so long. Anyway, this is definitely us now. Thanks for watching. Bye bye now.